Angela Fazio is an industry powerhouse who has overseen 40,000 homes sold and $9 billion in production. And Kristen Cantrell is one of the nation's most accomplished team leaders, helping thousands of agents build their businesses. They are passionate about educating, encouraging, and empowering moms in real estate. Our next episode starts now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Moms in Real Estate. I'm Angela Fazio.
And I'm Kristen Cantrell. And today we get to talk to Sharayah Eady out of Canada.
I'm really excited to talk about this topic because a lot of times women struggle with what they want to call balance in their life. But today we're going to hear about how all of the components of her life collide into what she calls a beautiful storm, and the heck with balance. So, please tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started.
Yeah. Well, like Kristen said, I'm Sharayah Eady, and I live on the east coast of Canada. I have a husband who I've been married to now for 4 years. I have 3 precious little boys. My stepson is 6, and then I have a 3-year-old, and most recently our 8-week-old. So we are a house full of boys. I am a boy mama.
Nice. So we're really excited to hear. First of all, I think you have some really unique things that our audience needs to know about you. Well, I think it's unique. Maybe a lot of people are in this situation, but in your town, what's the name of your town?
I live in Gander, Newfoundland.
So there's only, 10,000 people in your area?
Yeah, there's about 10,000 people in Gander, and we serve a little bit outside of that into some smaller areas, but about 10,000 people actually in Gander.
And Sharayah is only one of 15 agents in the area, which I think is crazy.
Yes, it's so crazy. And you're the only agent in your area from the brokerage that you're at too, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Our office is actually in a neighboring community, so I'm the only real estate agent with Century 21 in Gander.
So can you paint a little picture for us? Because, we have so many agents in our area, and I know a lot of people have this same situation going on, but what is it like for you? Like, what does the community in real estate in your area look like?
Well, the realtors that are in real estate in Gander, they've been at real estate for quite some time. Now, since I've joined real estate as a career, I do have some other colleagues that have joined into real estate as well that are newer and don't have the same amount of experience as some of the other guys in our community. But it was a learning curve because I came in and, like I said, our brokerage was in the next community over, so I wasn't spending a ton of time at the office. And I didn't have any teammates right there in the community, so it's been a roller coaster. It's been a big learning adjustment in town because, of course, the other realtors in the community, their offices are located in the community, so they have teammates and they have their brokers and people to lean on and people to call on. So that's been an adjustment for sure.
But you're doing great. You've closed 24 homes, right?
In her second year in real estate.
Yeah, that's. I'm not saying it's without struggles, but that's extraordinary. Great job.
Thank you.
With little kids.
Teeny kids.
Yeah.
So we always talk a little bit.
Sorry?
We always talk a little bit, just for our audience sake. We always talk a little bit, obviously, before we get on the air and answer a few questions. And Sharayah had a really funny comment about, why am I always yelling at my kids?
Oh, yeah. It's her struggle. Tell us about your yelling struggle.
Because we all have it.
Yeah. Right. No, it is so real. It feels like it's a constant. I look at my husband, or sometimes maybe they're strangers in the grocery store. I just look at them and I'm like, what do I do here? What do I actually do other than yell at him? And even that, that really doesn't really work. So I'm at a loss.
Me too. And my younger sister, she has 3 boys too. And she talks so quietly to them and everything's a lesson. And I'm like, can you just parent my kids too? Because I'm like exhausted.
I don't have that. I don't have that. My husband and I look at each other. We're like, okay, pick your battles.
Yeah.
Pick your battles. It's like our favorite phrase. And I have to go to my husband. I'm so sorry. I would go to my husband with my phone. I'd be like, talk me off the ledge. I'm about to send this text to our daughter. Talk me off the ledge.
Yeah, no doubt. No, we see who has the most energy, like who's able to scream more right now. That's who's going to take this battle.
Okay, so our goal on this call is we hope somebody's listening that has the answer to
our yelling problem.
How to make your kids better without yelling at them. So whoever has that, please tell us.
I think it's partly the way that God wires you. I just don't talk softly. I don't have that. It would seem so disingenuous if I was like, okay, kids, can we sit down for a minute and discuss this? That would be like so unnatural and creepy.
Oh my gosh.
So true.
So tell us a little bit about your love for Jesus, because I think you had so many great things to say when we were talking to you before we got on air about it. So tell us a little bit about that and how that's been a part of your family and how it's been a part of your business.
Yeah, like that's been at the center. That's been at the center of our marriage and at the center of our family. And we just know that we wouldn't have the things that we have today if it wasn't for Jesus and if it wasn't for our faith and our relationship with him. He's provided for us exponentially, like in such big ways and in such small ways too. Like he's just been at the core center at all times. And I do believe that he led me into real estate, and he has definitely been the main reason for my success. He's provided in such big ways. It was actually only as the summer was ending, and as we know in real estate, summer tends to be a busier time of year. And then I was looking down the pipe, and I was like saying to my husband, Mark, I'm like, okay, like things are slowing down now. Like, what are we doing? Maybe we should have been a little bit more proactive with putting away a little bit extra, knowing that we're going into the fall and the winter. And then it was just like Jesus spoke, and he was like, just because you can't see what I'm going to do doesn't mean that I'm not going to provide. And I was just like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
And it was just like that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
we call that.
Yeah. So then it was like that week when leads were coming in, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I hear you. Thank you.
We call that the 2x4 to the head by Jesus.
There you go. That's amazing.
You know what? Actually, something just occurred to me, because we're going to be talking today. We only had a few minutes, but I think we're on the same page, Sharayah, you and me, about this whole, and Kristen for sure, this whole idea that I think women always talk about, that they struggle with this thing called balance. And you were actually expressing something in a unique way that for you, from your mindset, it's like just all of the components of your life kind of coming together in a beautiful storm or something. Tell us about that concept a little bit. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything I've learned in real estate, it's that it is a total roller coaster, and I have been along the ride for the last 2 years. But when I really sit back and look at it, that's what it is. It's like this perfect, beautiful storm where all the aspects of my life kind of meet. Because I'm taking my younger kid, especially, but even my 3-year-old sometimes, depending how tight the schedule is. On listing appointments with me and on house showings, and they're going to the office, and they're like right there in it. But then my husband, he's putting up signs or just being super supportive at home and just making sure that I have what I need to be successful in my business. And well, right now, even I'm at a town and I have a friend sticking up a listing or a for sale sign for me. And it's just one of those areas where I feel like all the different aspects of my life kind of come together, and it's just not, it just doesn't make sense for me at this point of my life in this season for me to try to compartmentalize all these different aspects, because I feel like nobody would really get a good version of me, because I do need to be in multiple zones at one time. So this kind of allows me to do that. And I guess this is my form of balance. It's just a matter of having it all there together in this perfect storm, because it's not like it's this really nice, slow pace, easy, nice music
right.
kind of background. It's total chaos, but it's what works.
Yeah, I think once you let go of that image of this perfect balance, it's so freeing to just accept the chaos.
It just occurred to me, Kristen, okay, so people who are obsessed with this thing called balance, maybe it's the opposite of faith, because if you're trying to control every aspect of your life in the way that you think you're supposed to be controlling it, it's basically possibly just a lack of faith that God's putting these things together. Not that we don't try to have what we call balance, but I know that I appreciate the way that God has put things together in my life, and it's certainly not what people would call balanced at all, at all, at all.
Yeah, definitely. I can agree to that for sure.
So tell us a little bit about like what have your victories been as a mother in real estate?
I think that having the ability to bring my kids with me and kind of show them like my 3-year-old, he knows like if we got to go put a sign up or if I got to stop in and do a final walkthrough or whatnot, and he's there with me, he's coming to work with me, and I make that exciting, and I try not to just kind of bring him and then put him on the back burner, but let him be a part of it. And my clients know that. They know that that's a part of my business, that they're not getting just me, but they're getting my family, and that's how I can be available to them. But then on the same note, being able to be there for my kids and set boundaries in the place of real estate so that my kids know that they're my priority. So I feel like because I have that almost like an open conversation with my clients and they can expect that, then I can also be like, hey, my kid is nagging on me right now. Can I give you a call back? And everybody appreciates that. So I feel like that's been something I've learned into the last couple of years, but something that I'm proud of.
I love that. I was getting interviewed yesterday on a podcast, and it was done through Zoom, and I asked my husband, I was like, can you just like keep the kids out of this room for 45 minutes? And so of course, my son comes in towards the end of it, and the guy loved my son. He was like telling him how his hair was amazing and all this stuff. And my son is like literally putting a pencil into the screen and hitting my nose with it. He was pulling my hair and putting it in my face, like thinking he was the funniest thing ever. And I was like,
was it Luke or Dean?
It was Luke.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I've been sitting here talking about being authentic, and this is who I am. So I was like, part of me, I told them, I was like, part of me wants to yell at my husband and be like, you had one job, just one. And then the other part was like, you know what? You get me, you get chaos. So
Yes, that's right. Kristen and I love telling each other our shit show mom stories. Making each other feel better.
Yes.
Definitely. My husband always says that when we go to somebody else's house and they have a total chaos moment. My husband's like, oh, it's not just us. I'm like, you obviously don't talk to enough parents, because I know it's not just us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's very, very normal.
Oh, totally. Or if you feel like another mom judging you and then like you see their chaos later, I'm always like, oh, see? Like, I've had that happen.
Get your judgy eyes off of me.
I had it happen, and it was actually like one of her boys had like pushed one of the other kids off the bed, and she was like mortified, and I just like smiled. I was like, that is like what happens all the time. And
right.
I'm like, you can't get upset about it, you know? So
it doesn't end when they get bigger. My 21-year-old and my 15-year-old, they cannot stand each other. So we go out of town, and I'm getting texts from one of them saying how the other one's awful. And I'm like, hello, you're 15 and 21. Do you think you can just get along for 3 days?
I love it. Well, I think you have given so much value, and thank you so much for showing up authentic and raw and sharing your true challenges. And I just think that you are going to do second year, 24 transactions. I can't wait to see where you're at in year 3, 4, 5 and on. You know, you have so much potential to be this huge mega person. So I'm so blessed that you came on our show.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, thank you guys. Like I said, your podcast is a pleasure. It's been such a gift to me as someone newly in real estate and as a mom. So I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Have a great day.